Well, I'll start off with this, Derek. How excited are you just to unveil this offense in a game on Sunday and kind of show what you guys have been working on?
Yeah, we're really excited as offense, but it comes out with a great challenge. This is a defense that, really, well coached team, skilled players, talent everywhere, and so it's a tough task. But for us as an offense, we've been working really hard, and so of course we're excited to go out there and play live games and put the first one out there. Hopefully get a win, and then just keep building on that, and hopefully play good football. So there's been a lot of work that went in to make sure that hopefully we start fast. That's key to us. Trying to keep the same mindset we had towards the end of the year last year, treating all these games like do or die, from the jump, and not waiting for a back against the wall type moment to have to do that. So that's the mindset. We're excited, but again, we got to go do it. But we get to put the ball down on Sunday and finally get to play, so it'll be good.
I was going to ask, you said one of those keys starting fast. I mean, how key is that just to get, I guess, everybody to, if you start fast, you kind of have that I guess, that momentum or just that confidence that, hey, like this thing is actually kind of working. Is that important to get off to that fast start?
Absolutely. I think it's important for everybody. We always talk about it. I think it's something that I don't think we necessarily talked about or needed to. We didn't talk about as much last year. That I think that we were just excited. I think this year we've understood the assignment. We've understood what it takes to start fast and the mindset and the work that it takes to be able to do that. And so I think that would build confidence. Not only for us, on the offense, but for the team and for the city, for the organization. And so one thing I do know is we're going to keep working at it, whether it's really good or somewhere in between. We know that it can work, and we're going to keep grinding at it. But we're excited, to finally just get out there and run our stuff.
Derek, I think DA kind of compared the season opener to like Christmas Eve. You're ready to unwrap the gift. What kind of gift do you think you guys are going to be presenting?
I know one thing is we're going to play extremely hard and play extremely fast on offense. Our defense looks fantastic. I told you all what I thought of them last year. Coming here and practicing against them, and I think they're better this year. Now we all have to go prove it, but they look amazing. They look ready to go, and there's just a mindset and a mentality that we're coming with right now that I recognized from late in the year last year. Now, does that guarantee us a win? No, nothing guarantees you a win except putting the work in and then doing it on Sunday. But for us, we're excited to go show our brand of football and show what potentially we can be this year.
Derek, how have you seen the chemistry of the offensive line kind of develop over the last few months here?
I think the best thing that has happened for them is they've had a lot of reps together. They all have been at practice. They've all had reps together in preseason and practice. Obviously, thousands of reps in practice, walk-through reps. They're everywhere, in the building together. They eat together, they walk together, they walk in the meetings together. It's just, you see, I'm just really, really proud of the leadership by Eric and Caesar, and those guys in that room, of just taking that to heart and really, really taking that challenge. And so you see it pay off, on the practice field. Now games, that's when you go prove it, but. For me, I'm excited and I'm confident in those guys and what they've done, and so I can't wait to see how they play.
How comfortable?
Sorry, just do the Panthers do a nice job of presenting like different kind of how do you kind of evaluate the pressure that they're able to generate?
I mean, they bring pressure from everywhere. They'll bring a corner, they'll bring a safety, they'll bring one backer, they'll bring the other backer, they'll blitz your back, they won't blitz your back, and that defense coordinator, who is a good friend. He's a good man. He's not only is he one of the best defensive minds in the NFL, but he's even better of a person. And so I know the type of man he is. I know the type of excellence he stands for. And I've played against his defense a lot. And so I know the challenges it presents and the challenges it gave us last year. And so, he's going to have a great plan. He's going to study. He's going to work harder than anybody. And, that's a great challenge for us to study and work hard as well.
Derek, how comfortable are you? Because 3 different assistants in 3 consecutive years, and even though the terminology might be similar, or the aspects might be similar, but how comfortable are you?
I feel more comfortable starting this time than I did any other time because I was able, through a lot of experience, really, how do I get ready faster? How do I feel more comfortable faster? One big part of that was reps with my guys. I had a whole year of that under my belt, and so that helps. When you're throwing similar routes, it's not brand new. It doesn't take way too long to figure some things out. Now, there were some new things there's some things and some routes that we were asked to throw and things like that I haven't done before, so I had to get better at. We had to get better at that, but for the most part, there was a lot of carryover there. And then I told y'all, every practice we had, I would go out before and run the practice myself, with JT and Corey, and we would run the practice. And so I would double up on the reps because it was really I can sit there and study, I can sit there and watch film all day long until I'm blue in the face, but you got to go do it. You got to put your body through the motions. You got to do the footwork. You got to see the routes. You got to see the reads, and that's something that we did. Now I'm going to get obviously all these game reps coming up, the season's starting and all that, and we're just going to keep getting better at it. But I feel like I'm really comfortable with where we're at going into the season, and I shouldn't say comfortable. I should say confident. I'm confident with where we're at, but now we just got to go do it.
How much of week 1 is about adjustments? Because you don't really. It's week 1. There's no game film to watch right now. How much is it about adjustments?
That's one thing I've learned in my 11 years is, sometimes in week 1s it can be hit or miss in the beginning. You run a play that's perfect against something that they did that was new and it's wide open and it works. Or there is adjustments and there are mistakes in every week 1. You hear coaches always talking about tackling, in week 1 and all that kind of stuff, and how that stuff needs to, because you haven't been doing it. But with that said, for us and our mindset is, we are just going to go out and execute the way we've been practicing, and I'm so proud of how we've been practicing and the mentality and the intensity. I mean, you guys have seen it. I mean, the intensity of practice, the trash talking, the game-like speed of the reps. That we knew that was what it was going to help us get ready for week 1, and so going against our defense and watching our guys work, get you as prepared as you can be for a week 1. But there's always wrinkles, there's always something different, and there's a lot of adjustments that it's going to be interesting to see how our coaching staff and how they communicate it, how quick we get all those things ironed out, and get right on the right track and win a football game. That how fast can you see something, make the adjustment, and get on it? And throughout the preseason, they would show glimpses of that. Obviously, it wasn't too much because it's a different kind of scenario, but I'm excited to see that aspect of it as well.
Do you recall something where you didn't expect something? You didn't expect something out there just from maybe any recent games or wherever you were like, oh, they're going to run one thing, and you're like, oh, but this is completely not what I expected.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It happens to me all the time, especially when you're a veteran quarterback. They try and show you the exact same look. They'll literally stand in the same spots that you played them 2 years ago and make you think one thing, and then they're playing something totally different. And so, a lot of stuff as you get older, it's just there's one guy out there that you find and you're like, okay, I got it. Or there's one little thing, or there's one little thing, or maybe it's post snap. A lot of teams, they make it very difficult, and then they hold it all the way till post snap. So you making sure your eyes are right. And so, usually with an older quarterback, they do things like that. It's not just the normal disguise and bring it the other way. And they try and show you exact same things and do something different. And that happens all the time. But it'll be up to us to make those adjustments. And you don't know until you see it. But you try your best as a quarterback to be ready for everything. And going against DA's defense, they show us pretty much everything that you could possibly show. And so, hopefully, as a quarterback, that prepares you for a week 1.
Derek, I imagine some of this has to do with play calling, and some of it has to do with the picture the defense presents. But how do you, as a quarterback, try to define when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive?
Yeah.
Does that come behind it?
Yeah. So Clint, one thing about this system, it's very clear to me when to. It's like you guys have talked about a lot of the peer progression stuff, right, with Clint and all that kind of stuff. It's really clear to me when to do it. I had a question. It's a great question you asked, because I had a question today going through something. I was like, hey, there's this, and this. When do you want me to think this or think that? And he's like, I will tell you. Don't even worry about it. You just play. And it's freeing for me, because if he wants to throw it there, or he wants to take a shot, or he wants to do this, obviously we're not just going to throw it up into triple coverage, but there's times where, hey, if it's there, I want you thinking it. hey, I don't even want you thinking it this time. He sees something, he's trying to show something, or he's been working on, making something look one way to come back to that. I don't know what's going on in his head, but I'm getting there, and it'll take these game reps to learn that. But he makes it pretty easy on me that it's not like a big alert thing or anything like that. It's like, no, I'm going to be very clear so every time you touch that ball where your eyes should be, what you should be doing. There's no indecision at all. And they do a really good job of that in this system of making me free of those kind of decisions, like what time of the game is it, because every coordinator, like this is a big thing that people don't talk about for especially a lot of young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that have changed systems, is you can get the same exact play call on the same yard line in the same moment of the game, same score, and throw one ball, and one coordinator says yes, and the other coordinator says don't do that. And you got to learn that, because it's they see it a different way. But Clint is very clear with that, and he makes it known to me so I can be free. And he's smart. He knows I've been in a lot of systems. I have a lot of voices in my head, not to be weird, but I've heard a lot of different things about certain plays, so he's very clear with me on when and what he wants.
So it's freeing as a quarterback, but it's also like taking a little bit of responsibility off of the plate. The guy's been in the league for 11 years. Like,
yeah.
You have to just be like okay with that, and be like, you trust the play caller or not, like give full control.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the system. Like I have been in a system. With Gruden, it was like he's talking to me as I'm walking to the line because I just called 5 plays in the huddle. And I may not even check to one of those. I may go to something I want to do. And I've lived that way, and now I'm living this way. And so it's complete trust. And there's still stuff too he gives me freedom on to do. There was one thing I did today that we didn't talk about it first, but he's given me a little bit of freedom to be able to do some things because he trusts me, and I think that's the big thing is we trust each other. So he trusts me to do some things, and I just stay in that yard that, so he's comfortable, and I trust him to let me know when it's time, and then deliver for him. That's the big thing for us as players.
Quick one on Taysom. Just in terms of leadership, really.
Yep.
He's not always the loudest guy in the locker room when we're in here. So how would you describe his leadership qualities?
Yeah, I think the one thing about Taysom is, number one, he's just going to show you. And, we always say actions speak louder than words. It's one thing for someone to be loud and say things, but, all the guys in here, what's real and what's fake. You see it because you see it consistently, or you don't see it consistently. And the one thing about Taysom that we all know, all our fans know, is he's consistent. We all know, when he's in the game, if he touches the ball, what's going to happen? He sees red, and he's going to give you his best. And that's how he is every day. And so that's number one. Number two is he does a really good job of mentoring people that people will never see. Like, he does a great job of talking to the young guys, whether it's a quarterback. Like, he's so unique because he can talk to so many different positions. He can teach somebody. He can be like, hey, I know you did this, but hey, think of it like this way, or think of it this way. So he does a lot of that stuff for some of our younger guys, and that alone, Mickey talked about that. Us as older players helping the young guys, and because that's what helps the New Orleans Saints. Not only this year, but for years to come. And so a lot of us older guys have really taken young guys under our wing when we're watching film. On our day off, man, I told the young quarterbacks, come in. I'm gonna teach you what I'm looking at. This is different now. It's not training camp. This is regular season. So now you're watching film in a different light. And so there's different things, different clues, different keys. And Taysom's one of those guys that does that too. And so it's not a lot of stuff that you'll hear or see, but he's vital to this organization and the future of this organization by how he helps.
That's a good one,
That was nice. That was nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.